Again, not in my home. Again, with Patrick. Again, with Outcast. And this time with Outcast and Origin. Nice collab that you did there.
I will say it's actually Origin and Outcast.
Okay, Origin.
Just to meet AGLC standards, it's not my beer. It was made by Origin and Origin with my help and my recipe.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yep, okay. And basically it is, as you said, well, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so it's called How Original because we made another IPA. You know, how original are we? It's a big, bold double IPA. It's 9% alcohol, about 70 IBUs. And for the first time with any of my, I guess, our recipes, Nick and I working together, I used a lot of Dank hops. So it has Centennial, Chinook, Cascade, and Columbus hops in it, just to kind of give it that, like, going for dank, you know, West Coast IPAs of yesteryear that aren't made anymore. Everybody seems to be moving towards the, well, myself included, the fruity, citrusy, you know, 0 IBUs kind of IPA craze, which is great because they're easy to drink, but this was a throwback to what got a lot of us onto drinking IPAs. So the color, obviously, Dan, I would say it's a little, go nice and close. It's a little bit hazy. We're going for crazy haze, but we used London 3 ale yeast, which is kind of in that same family of Vermont and the New England ale yeasts.
Yeah.
Which just results in that hazy look, you know, low flocculation, leaves yeast and hops in suspension to give it that look. And the grain bill, actually really cool. I guess I could talk about how this even started. I wanted to buy Origin malt to do a batch of our breakfast out, and things went from there. You know, decided we wanted to make a beer together. So this is 100% Origin malt using their pale and Munich varieties. They use different names for them, but it would be kind of two-row and Munich malt, 100% from Origin malting.
God, that stuff. The smell, like, we've been smelling this for the past 7 minutes. I've not had a sip yet. And oh my God. Yeah. You have a dankness, you have a juicy note, you have, it's just all right there.
Yeah, so it's got like that grassy, like weedy, like dank, you know, it smells like weed. It does. Skunk and weed and citrus and a little bit of juiciness, little bit of fruitiness, but you know, the dankness is right at the forefront from Chinook hops.
And I don't get a lot of like an alcohol sort of smell. At 9%, there's nothing there.
No, and you know, there's a little bit of residual sweetness in the beer. It didn't finish as dry as most of my beers do, but I mean, the finishing gravity was about 3 Plato, which is, for a 9% beer, is pretty low.
Oh.
So,
okay, gotta get into this. Cheers. Okay, all right.
It definitely tastes like beer.
It definitely tastes like beer. Yeah. You do have that
beery note.
Yeah, that beery note. Wow, the bitterness that comes off the end of that.
Yep.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it does. And you know, it's got a little bit of that dankness in the flavor. Yep. And a little bit of juiciness and just a little bit of pine, like that bitterness that's ending. It's like a dry pininess.
Oh yeah.
And again, throwback to the IPAs that we don't see anymore.
And you get that warming sensation from the alcohol.
Yes, but you don't get an alcohol burn.
No.
You know, there's a little bit of alcohol. I wouldn't say astringency because that is kind of a negative flavor, but just a little bit of dry heat. Like when you're drinking bourbon, that kind of goes in the back of your throat.
And after a few sips, it disappears.
Exactly. And then, you know, just that piney, dry bitterness kind of lingers around.
Wow, that is a good throwback.
Yeah, you know, I'm really happy with this. I think this is, you know, for our first time working together, I was pretty happy. I mean, the guys at Origin obviously are incredibly talented, winning, you know, a number of awards.
How many? They won a few awards.
3 or 4. I mean, and their brown ale won Beer of the Year at the Alberta Beer Awards. And you know, the funny thing about Origin is like their brew system is, I think they make about 10 kegs at a time, and they're doing constantly, you know, like what we want to do, just new beers all the time.
Yeah.
And they're hitting every style well. Their brown ale that won last post is really good. Their Legal Issue Scotch Ale is fantastic. I think it's their flagship. Full Sleeve IPA is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, really good. In any case, you know, Origin's, I guess the one downfall they have is because they're so small, they're primarily only distributing to their tap room. And as every small town brewery does, the curling club and golf club. and I'm pretty certain that's it.
Possibly the Hunters Club too.
Maybe, or like the Kinsmen or the Legion.
The Legion, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely on top of the Legion. So this beer, actually, one of the only conditions I had was that we'd be able to sell it to some of our accounts. I don't know when this is going to hit YouTube, but as of today, it's April 3rd.
I mean, this is definitely a weekend beer, and this is definitely something you have a couple of them, and you're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I found the tipping point is 3 pints. After about 3.5, it's a little bit hard to get out of bed in the morning. So
I can see that actually.
Yes.
Well, you know what? This is actually really gorgeous. If you guys get your hands on this, oh man, you're gonna enjoy this. I'm not a big hop head, and it's got that nice hop flavor that I actually really enjoy because it's got a little bit of the juiciness in it. But it's got that nice, beautiful bitterness at the end. And
yes, the pininess and dankness, like I said, it's something we're not seeing anymore, which is unfortunate. So, you know, I've made every kind of IPA I can think of besides black IPAs, so it was time to go with a throwback. And I think we were talking about potentially brewing this on a large scale as an Outcast beer and canning it in May.
Oh.
Not for certain, and I'll probably dry hop it twice just for that extra. Because I don't want to release the exact same beer. That's a knockoff. But
yeah.
Probably something similar because, like I said, that style is insanely underrepresented, and it's now anyway.
Oh yeah, no, this is really gorgeous. All right, guys, I gotta get going here. There's another beer I have to do, and it's gonna be huge.
Spoiler, it's pretty ridiculous. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, folks. Till next time, I'm PK. This has been Patrick from Outcast, and we'll talk to you guys later. Cheers again, and thank you for sharing this. Yes. This is awesome.